doesn't have the team to follow up. It's going to
Does
go down.
we see Set already moving down, but Cinder might beat the victor there.
Wow. is going to get the first blood in. He is going to get ulted. She's going to emote for some reason. Like, I don't think you're in any position of losing the game.
Hey, rule number 1, always look good.
Still coming out onto the victor, who is immediately going to fall. Syndra ultimate. Misfortune going to get choked and immediately heal afterwards. Sejuani's done. Bullet time coming out. And is able to find Varus now. However, their last Nexus turret has fallen. Trundle going to fall as well. Misfortune soon thereafter. Pantheon pulling the pressure away from the Nexus. Janna going to get hit with one ball and immediately die. Game 1 over. Quadra-kill on the Syndra. BYOB walks in with game 1. Nunu snowball coming into this mid lane. Wall coming up, stun. Knockup is going to miss. He's going to knock up the Nunu. Flash towards his Diana, who is here for some kind of follow-up. She's going to go toward the Nunu. She's going to flash away. And maybe it gets really low. She flashes over the wall as well. Diana, she's going to jump onto her, dodging the stun. And it looks like First Blood is going to go over to Diana if she can get this kill before Ignivio procs.
Any kind of penetration items.
One thing I was about to point out is that it's only the 3rd Drake for EGH, so Blue could have really utilized that, and they did, and they got the inhibitor. However, bullet time going to come out, Karma is going to fall, Nunu ultimate going to come out as well, not find any targets on that. 5v4 at the moment. Flash Q ultimate from Volibear, however, Malphite's going to onto the back line, followed by Yasuo ultimate. He's looking for Misfortune now as he gets onto her, he finds the double kill. Maybe it's going to fall to Jin. It's 3v2 now. Jin ultimate going to come out. Nunu, Volibear, the pillars of defense as double kill onto the Jin, onto Nunu. Volibear, the last person standing. Does he have the sustain? He doesn't. Triple kill over to Jin. This could be the end of the game. They still have Baron buff for another 35 seconds. They have a wave. There is no inhibitor. This could be the end of game 2. And it looks like they're going to go for the end. Janna's up at 10 seconds. On BYOB. Game 2 going over to BYOB. Close mid-game. However, 2-0 to TD. Bring your own wrong.
All right, we pranked you guys because clearly that is not half amazing on the other side. But welcome to week 2 of the LXC IBS League. My name is DBZ Freak, and that's not half amazing, like I said. Welcome, Astroglider. It's you. Hi.
I like to consider myself fully amazing, not just half amazing.
Ooh, we got ourselves a little bit of spice coming in, Mr. Full Amazing here. Change the name. Change it on broadcast. Go ahead and change it right now. But we have an exciting game for you guys tonight. Tonight is Divine Temple versus Baron Buddies. Now, Baron Buddies coming off of a 2-0 week. You know, they're feeling pretty good right now. And then Divine Temple had a bye week, so technically they're also 2-0, but this is really their first game. But we're not going to get into the technicalities of that because that's not what we're here for. We are here for some spicy Monday night League of Legends action. Who cares if you have work tomorrow? You're here to watch League of Legends. Who cares if you got school tomorrow? It's summer. You probably don't, but who cares? We got League of Legends action coming your way. Astro, how you doing tonight?
You know, the only question I have tonight is I'm here with DBZ Freak, and he's wearing a Sailor Moon shirt. I think where's the DBZ shirt at?
BRB, entertain chat for a second.
Uh-oh, look what I started. Well, he's right. We do have an exciting game for you guys this evening with Divine Temple versus the Baron Buddies. You know, this is kind of DT's intro week since they got off last week. And there, I do see the Dragon Ball Z shirt. Well done, sir. Well done, sir.
Yes. All right, but yes, I was looking over the stats earlier today, so I came home a little early. So from what I was seeing from Baron Buddies in particular, they are kind of a bloody team. Just over a 5.1 KDA, 57 kills. So they are a very, very bloody team and are willing to scrap, willing to fight, willing to play through their lanes. And that's something that's actually really exciting to see, especially at this level of play. Anything with Amateur League of Legends is really fun to see, especially when they kind of parallel things to pro play. So that's pretty cool. Will we see that this week? Maybe. I mean, at this point now we have all leagues, professional leagues that have started, with the LEC starting just this past weekend. So anything that we might see that has like a parallel to here could be pretty potentially exciting. Please do not play Static Shiv LeBlanc. I will cry. That stuff is hurtful to watch.
I'm really hoping not to see a Static Shiv. I like you brought up the KDA right away with Team BB, Ember and Ultra being 1 and 3 respectively on the KDA leaderboards, which you can check out on the LXC Discord if you're interested in looking over at the stats. However, a little bit of a twist tonight. Ember is not starting, and Liv, their jungle, is going to have to rotate and play support tonight. So we're going to see how that plays out, along with if they're going to allow Ultra to continue to have the Caitlyn, which he was extremely strong on last week, or if they're going to try to target ban him, see if they can't get him on something weaker. So, yeah. What's your thoughts on that? You've been reading the stats. What do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, so actually, funny enough that you mentioned the Caitlyn pick, I'm actually very biased against Caitlyn right now. I do not think she's in that good of a spot. I feel like that there are better, but I think given like where we are in terms of like the skill matchups of these players, and maybe just have like 10 times more games on Caitlyn, and they fully understand that she's not in a good spot, but are willing to use her kit very effectively. And that's why I'm kind of like not surprised, but I do agree with you. Maybe the Caitlyn pit will get taken away. I don't see a reason to ban it because there are picks that are really good into Caitlyn. For instance, Jinx is one of them. You know, Zeri, even though she got nerfed, is still good. Aphelios is another option. So it just really depends on like what these teams got cooking in the kitchen right now. So we'll have to wait and see when we eventually get the draft. We'll keep you updated on when we get there, but it's not at this very moment. And I'm still looking at the stats as we go along, and they have also Baron Buddies. Has also a very, very impressive vision score, 86.4. That is average, mind you, which means that this team has the map lit up. They know where everybody is at all times, watching for roams, knowing when objectives are happening. They're tracking the enemy jungler so they can know how to play around those movements, and that is something that I actually really like seeing personally. Average vision per minute is 2 per minute, which is, rookie numbers can bump those up a little bit, but that's okay. Sometimes you're scrapping with your opponent, and that's nothing you really can get like too about. I had no words, so I just made a noise instead. But gonna continue reading along here. There are no stats for Divine Temple, as we mentioned, because they haven't played yet. But when they play tonight, the stats will get filled in, and then we'll have more for them later. And so let's see, what else what have we got? It looks like in terms of like total damage as well, it is a fat number at 223,000. So like I said, they like to fight. So I'm expecting that. Will Divine Temple be able to play defensively enough to not allow them to get those huge numbers that they got last week? This is something that they're going to have to like play into and adapt as the series goes on. It is best of 3, mind you, so we potentially get 3 games of this.
I would like to see a 3-game series. I'm hoping for a 3-game series, but as you mentioned, Divine Temple has a tall task in hand, trying to play against the fighting team of Baron Buddies. I'm hoping that Divine Temple's done some homework on this team. Right. They saw what they like to play last week. They can see that the KDA is there. They can see the total damage, and then how are they going to plan around it? Are they going to try to play more of a farm game and play in the late game, or are they going to take front to back comp and just kind of go right at it and go into a brawl style? We'll have to get into the picks and bans and kind of see a little bit about what these teams are going to be doing this evening.
However, before we get into picks and bans, we're going in a little bit. I was getting ready to do a sponsor plug. You know what? Because right down there, we got ourselves a sponsor. It's CoachAway.gg. If you're a coach and want to get better, check them out. They're really cool. So, anyways, so far we're going into picks and bans. We have Jin being banned out so far. Malphite, who's arguably the best tank in the game at the moment. Second best, I'll say Sion's actually, you can't see my finger going second, but second best because Sion is arguably a lot better than he is. He's just infinite stacking and so on and so forth, and you can just never kill him. It's really dumb. But so really solid ban coming off from Baron Buddies on that one. There's the Caitlyn ban you were potentially talking about. So they're really heavily focusing the 80 carry pool right now at the moment, which could be, which is fine, but it also leaves up something else that Baron buddies are really comfortable with as well, taking away the Misfortune, who had weird rise in priority across all leagues, or not like all leagues, but like throughout solo queue. So very interesting to see where this could potentially go from here. So we have one ban left. I mean, you maybe ban another 80 carry, ban out a really strong jungle pick, I think. I mean, there's lots of really good jungle picks. Rek'Sai, yeah, I just played against one earlier, not against one. I played with one earlier. She has had Horizon priority thanks to the item changes that has come through. She overall is in a much better state than she was before MSI happened. So this is a very strong band, really good engaged. So glad to see that off the table. I can't speak. I'm already getting tongue tied. You know what that means? It means I haven't had enough G Fuel, but we're not sponsored by them. One day maybe. For those of you who don't know me, that was my tagline on my other leagues. I would say G Fuel is cool and then say not sponsored, by the way. But anyways, but Jinx will be the lock in, and that is a pretty strong hyper carry. So will they have an answer for it? I'm not entirely a fan of picking the Jinx for especially first pick, because you can kind of like draft through that, and like so there's the immediate answer in the Maokai, just something to be able to get back to her, and just even like get her in an uncomfortable position, if that makes any sense, because she's very immobile unless she builds Gale Force. I don't know what she's going to build, probably not, and Xayah is typically a response into her. So we've been seeing lots of Xayah throughout solo queue, throughout the LCS, LPL, LCK, you name it. That champion has been played and usually paired with Rakan as well. So whether or not Divine Temple will take away the Rakan, it's up to them. I don't think it's necessarily crucial that they get the Rakan right now. So I think you just kind of like, you don't have to pick the Rakan. Just pick something you know is good into him to force them to not be able to pick him. But Annie being locked in, a strong mid laner, she's my tagline for her is best assassin in the game, and Lulu potentially being paired with the Jinx is good for a little bit of agency, shielding the wild growth as well. And that is just more of a safe route for the Jinx. And now we go to the last one. What do you pick here? You could pick your support, I guess. You could pick your mid laner if you wanted to. You see theirs, it's Annie blind, so you have the option to pick your mid laner here. I mean, there's lots of strong picks. You have Syndra that's open. We've seen Yasuo being played. Yasuo is pretty good right now as well. You could also pick Ahri. Yeah, okay, right as I was getting ready to say, they pick Ahri, and that is the end of picks and bans for the first phase. So now we're going to the second phase. And how are you feeling about the draft so far, Astro? Is it looking pretty standard? You know, just our classic like pro play stuff that we usually see.
Well, pretty standard to what they're playing. It'll be interesting to see if the Maokai is going to be a flex into support, since that's actually what Liv ran as jungle last week. And so it'll be interesting to see, since he's filling the sub for Ember tonight, if they're going to run him on the Maokai and have a different jungle. I know that jungle's been playing a lot of the Kindred lately, and he's been playing a lot of the Kindred Trinity Force build and not the on-hit version, which I'm not a big fan of. So happy to see that he's running the actual Trinity Force and not that crazy on-hit build that takes forever to get going. We do see the Gwen band come out. We do see the Fiddle band. All right.
Fiddle band, yeah. I'm kind of with you. Interesting. I mean, probably a comfort pick, we can assume. That's usually you don't see Fiddlesticks banned too much. I mean, he's not really played that much either, except in solo queues. So unless they're like reading them purely off of solo queue numbers, is why they're taking it away. Well, that would make sense to me anyways, because if he gets the drop on you, it could be pretty obnoxious. I mean, even if the Maokai is flexed, like you mentioned, it's a pretty good takeaway anyways. And Set being banned away as well. So that tells me they got a potential top lane pick in mind. And it tells me, because Gwen is really good into the likes of Cassante. I'm going to get my finger on the thing. So Cassante, really good into Fiora. Really good into Sion. So it's potentially this could be a Sion pick if they want to, or they could completely spice it up and go for something like Garen. We've seen that in NACL, so that's something that's possible. Just throwing out a bunch of random picks, that they could potentially pick, and they have the option here. I mean, they could either pick their top laner now, or whether there's their jungler or support they have left to pick. Maokai's a flex, so it could be either one. What do they go for? And
did you see the Sion?
Sion. Who could have possibly seen that coming with the Gwen ban? Who could have possibly seen that coming? Because Gwen's so good into him, able to shred through him. So taking that off the table to pick up the Scion, and that pretty much secures their front line as well. And from here, you know, I was gonna say Wukong or Vi isn't a good option for engage because right now they need some. Annie can't be your sole engage. You know, Flash R, it looks cool and all, but if you have nothing to follow up with it, it's not much to do. So either Wukong or Vi, I'm feeling here. Those are really the only two junglers I see that are like absolute hard engage. They need to get back to the Xayah and to potentially catch the Ahri, because Ahri is a little slippery, so she's one of those ones where it's a little difficult to get to. But from here on out, okay, final pick here, you have to pick something into the Scion, and yeah, last but not least, Ornn makes sense. I mean, it's going to be a wet noodle fight in the top lane as we can expect, so I'm not entirely surprised there. But Ornn, a really strong pick, and also a really good engage and front line as well. And from here, support or jungler, what are you gonna bait us with, Baron buddies? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you feeling? What you feeling?
I like the option. They can flex into that Kindred pick that I was talking about earlier. It's in a good spot right here if they want to run it, or if they want to elect to put the I was gonna say the Milio in there to counter the CC, and then here we go. So yeah, they are gonna run the Makai in the jungle, putting the Milio, who's incredibly strong against CC comps in that bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. Milio is in a really strong spot. He's broken. I think they tapped on him a little bit with this recent patch, but it was, my opinion, it wasn't enough. They needed to do more to him, but this is Riot Games we're talking about here. I will flame you, Riot Games. Don't test me. But overall, as I'm looking over the draft, so we have Makai Ornn and Scion in the top lane. Not expecting too much to happen there. They're going to be looking towards playing weak side and just kind of farming up, making sure that they can be that front line that they need to in those later game team fights. In the jungle, you have Wukong, Maokai. I am expecting, this is just me personally, of course, but I'm expecting these two junglers to play with a lot of agency, especially with the kind of hyper scaling that the Xayah and the Jinx have. So I'm personally expecting a lot of mid and bot lane focus from these two junglers. Not too much happening up in the top lane, which is to be expected. They could literally just be up there on an island the whole game and it will be fine. Just 15 minutes later, they'll have like 4 tank items and be like, yep, okay, here we go. I'm exaggerating, not 15, but 30 minutes instead. So, but the bot lanes here, this is going to be kind of a skill checky one, I think, with the bot laners here, because you have 2 enchanters down here in the bot lane who are going to be poking for their lives, you know, trying to get their items up, or not their items, but trying to get their gold up out of the support items, and they're just going to want to try to give their AD carry the advantage for obvious reasons, of course, because when Jinx gets online, she's insanely scary. When Xayah gets online, she is also insanely scary. So these two AD carries, this game is going to come down to these two AD carries, I believe, and looking forward to where this could potentially go. Baron buddies, solid draft. Divine Temple, solid draft. Is also looking like your classic pro draft, which is kind of funny to me. So seeing how these two teams are going to execute, hey, we're in for an exciting time, I think.
I think we should have a really, really good game. I'm with you on the ADCs. I think this favors the Xayah. The Xayah is going to be able to control the range a little bit better, and she is going to be able to set up her lane ganks a little bit better than the Jinx. The Jinx is going to have to step forward to really get into the fight, and I think this is where they can get punished for this early on. I would expect the Wukong and the Maokai to kind of play around that bot lane. It's really hard to play against an Annie when you're trying to set up a gank. She just holds her stuns and just farms, and then the second somebody shows up, she just stuns and giggles and walks away. So I would expect this more to be focused on the Ahri roaming to the bot, setting up the ganks, and then working with the dragons on that team, whereas the Ornn is going to want to like, hey, let me get my Jinx some items, let me get my Wukong some items, and let's play for later on. So I would expect the heavy focus to be on bot for Baron buddies early on to get some tempo and stop Divine Tempo from getting into that scaling that they want to go to later in the game.
I 100% agree. So, as I am currently looking over, just going over a couple of things, just making sure I got my stats correct. Not my stats, but like make sure I got my check correct. So, I'm anticipating not a lot of action per se for the first like 4.5 minutes, I will say. I do expect Wukong to probably be bot side in the first like 2.5 minutes, if that makes sense. He's gonna want to get this Jinx started early, because otherwise this is gonna be kind of a hard time with the Milio being able to provide that sustain, being that annoying poke that he can be. So this will have to show us, like, this will have to, like, to us, particularly the audience rather, it's like, what can Divine Temple do in the early game? It's gonna be an early game focus. Wukong will naturally have the advantage because he can outduel Maokai, but if his lanes don't have prio, unfortunately, he just kind of loses the whatever V1 it ends up being at the end of the whole thing. So this is gonna be spicy, I think. I'm kind of looking forward to this very first game, best of 3, mind you. Off the top of my head, I don't really have anything else that I can think of. Do you, by chance?
Yes, let's talk about an exciting change on the Twitch stream. As you will see, channel points have arrived. Therefore, we have predictions as you gain your channel points. If you want to be able to bet on predictions on some of the games, some of the things going on, we'd like to thank everybody for helping with that process to go through it, to reach that affiliate status so we can get those channel points out. So I'm excited to see kind of the community being able to bet on it and see what the community is going to have to say about this particular game as well.
Indeed. I completely forgot about that, so thank you for pointing that out. And on the other side of that as well, speaking of affiliate status, that's a cool thing, which also means you can subscribe to the channel. Do you need me to say that again? You can subscribe to the channel, whether that's with Twitch Prime or with $5 measly that you can pay every month. It's that easy. Mostly the Twitch Prime is the better option because that's free. So the more subs, the merrier, which also means we can go towards partner status, mind you. So just go ahead and just think about that one for a little while, friends. Just think about that one for a little while. Are we in Spectale yet, out of curiosity, or no? I don't know. Spectale or not. Where is my man's? Okay, so we're 2 minutes out. Gotcha. Oh, noted. It's actually not a best of 3. Just kidding. It's a 2 block. Apparently, I'm stupid. So therefore, I am wrong. Nothing can go right in the universe. We're going to go to break now because I'm an idiot and need to rethink my life. I'm going to go home and rethink my life. We'll catch you on the other end of Spectale. So we'll see you guys then for game 1 between Baron Buddies and Divine Temple. Catch you later.
Welcome back. Yes, boys and girls, we are back from break and we are ready to get excited on the Rift.
We're gaming, boys and girls. We're gaming. Look at the FPS counter up there. 140 FPS. That's what I'm talking about. I just put in a new GPU. 400 frames is way too much for League of Legends. Do not let your computer do that to you. But anyways, here we are. Game 1. We got a classic 5-point stance being vision dropped all over the Rift right now. Looks like Lulu dropped one. Another award was dropped in the river as well by the Makai, it seems. Probably backing so he can get his sweeper to kind of clear any vision potentially might get. Yep, I swapped over to sweeper right there. And Liv, standing on a ward. You know what you're doing there, but okay, never mind. He knew. I think he knew. But walking out, going in, and I'm kind of getting a little bit of a track on where these junglers are going to start at the moment. Okay, puts a ward on the blue buff just in case of the invade. I do not think Makai would even try to invade this, to be completely honest with you, unless it's against the cheesy Scion invade that we tend to see, you know, where he just kind of goes to get the blue buff, dies, and then takes
the buff. Yeah. Not expecting any of that nonsense today. I like that the Jinx and the Xayah have opted to go for the more standard longsword builds for their starter items rather than some of the other crazy stuff I've been seeing. No more Dorans, no more Cull items, and we're off. I don't expect anything for the first 3 levels from these jungles. I do expect to see, as we talked about, the Wu maybe doing a quick level 3 clear and then looking bottom. Makai, he got the red start. We know he's looking bottom. He's going to put his top on an island. I don't expect him to visit at all. He might wave at him at the scuttle and tell him hi, but that's about it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Actually, looks like he didn't opt to go for the Raptors. He's going right to his blue buff. Probably
he's going straight for. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So I wonder what the reasoning there was. Maybe possibly under the impression that Wukong might try to invade him because they dropped that ward in the river to make sure that, like, you know, he's starting on the bot side of the map and they didn't know the bot lane was there. A little bit of trading here top side. Me, Dr. Thug, kind of going in on Spawn of Hell. Oh my goodness, dealing lots of damage to him. Ooh.
He took the most of that damage before he got his level 2, and so the Ornn kind of outsmarted him on that one. I would expect a Scion not to get silly, but here we go again. The Ornn is saying hi. The Scion's like, I probably don't want to be here right now.
He's on the wrong side of the rift.
He's on the wrong side, and that Ornn, he's gonna flash. Oh my goodness, he does get the stun off, but the Scion is running Ornn first.
He leveled up.
He did get the level, but the Ornn is gonna collect the first blood. A little bit of trading here down on the bot side. The Makai, is he going to go down from the side? Awesome. He does. Spot of Hell. Good job getting that trade back on to the Makai. A little bit of action here. We got a charm coming out. Going to land. We're going to put a little damage on that Annie. And she's just going to get a little chip damage in there. I don't know if Ari wants to step a little bit closer into that one. So the Makai was able to go in and try to get an early gank on the Annie, able to get the damage in, but not able to finish off. This is going to allow the Ari to poke off. Up top,
Wukong is coming. Hold on, back in the mid lane. Wukong is in position to go for a gank right now, and he's going for it. She's still a splash. Oh no!
And the flash to get into stun on the Wukong onto that poor little old Ari. She is taken down, and the kill does go over to the Annie. So we are seeing some brawling here. The Xayah is just putting a lot of damage on that Lulu. She ate the stun, she ate the Milio Q, and she's going down.
No way, right?
Xayah and Makai going against Sop, and again the Ornn is not going to like what's happened. But here comes the Makai. Is he going to be able to get some damage in here? I think he is going to finish off.
No,
he is going to be able to. No, that Ornn's not getting away. The Ari right back to work, and here comes the Wukong again on the repeat. Say, get away from my Annie, and have you seen my Tibbers?
Wow. All right. So lots of fighting around the map. This is what I was talking about. The damage numbers that his team does are pretty obnoxious. And here we are. You know, unfortunately, Scion is 1 and 2. Just not exactly respecting the damage that the Ornn can put out with the Brittle, you know, as well. The grass procking as well. And just, he's really strong right now at the moment. Well, I guess, well, in terms of gold, yes, but middle lane, Ariana is no mana.
Oh! The charm, she hits the Q. She will follow up and get the kill onto the Annie. Back to 1-1. Good trade from the Ari to solo out that Annie, knowing that she didn't have her flash because she used it to kill her earlier. So good trade. Scion is now able to get a little bit of damage onto our resident Ornn, and now the Scion is going to begin his farm quest. He's already got a little bit of a farm lead up on the Ornn, even though the Ornn does have those kills, obviously. This is all the Scion wants to do.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, the gold lead kind of doesn't matter or the kill lead doesn't kind of matter because of the 16 CS lead that Scion has. So, unironically, we can. Maybe he kills him here. He does kill him here. Okay.
Land, he was able to trade the kill. That puts him 2-2, and he still has a CS lead. So that first blood onto the Ornn is evaporated.
Yeah, and right before that, I was going to ask if we could toggle over to the gold so I could see how much gold that the Scion had right before that play happened. I imagine he is ahead now, but just press X real quick so I can see how much gold that the Scion has, just out of curiosity. I just want to see if we can see how much gold he has. It looks like we're not gonna get it, but that's okay. But Scion should have a pretty sizable lead, especially after getting that kill, and the already almost 30 CS lead that he has alone in the top lane, and the gold lead has gone up to like 1.5k, just under 1.5k. So, hey, I mean, Scion's feeling pretty good. So I guess that those first 2 deaths were a stat check on the Ornn, which is fine. So we got 7 kills in 5 minutes. What is going on? Oh, it's a here.
We are seeing the show of the Wu, where he misses his combo. The Milio able to keep the CC going, and the Zaya says, "I'm here to do some damage. Who wants to play?" He's able to push them all the way. Makai coming around the backside. I don't know if he wants to push this fight 1v1 versus the Wu, but he is going to root him up and land a root. But then he's going to walk away and not do anything too crazy there. We are seeing a little bit more chip damage on there. We are seeing the Ari coming over the wall. She made a huge mistake. She uses her ult. She misses the charm. However, the Makai is going to land a root, and that will get the Q from out. Now we're going to see the Annie land her stun.
Oh my God, fighting
and
everywhere.
There goes a tree. Ari will be able to ult away and get away from that particular fight, but unfortunately Makai prayed to the Annie there. He was just ulting and waiting. The Scion gonna land a Q, gonna land a root. He's gonna get a little bit of damage on there. I think he is gonna kill this Ornn. This Ornn is trying to run away. We're bot side here. The Milio is trying to get out. However, the Annie lands a Q stun, and they're able to take the Milio out. The Scion
no shot, right? Oh no, right?
Here comes the Ornn. Oh no, the Q lands from the Scion. He's able to kill before the Ornn can call the Ornn back out to knock up the Scion. Not what we were expecting from the Ornn and the Scion up top. We thought they would just trade CS, and instead they are trading lives like nothing. Scion is going to get here from. Here comes a tree to say hi. Here comes the Wu. Is the Wu going to be there? Is the Wu going to make it? No, he's able to get out. Scion's going to walk away from this one, probably die into that other tower and give up his life. Ooh. There you go. He does a little dance and turns around on the Wu just to make sure the Wu knows that he couldn't get to him. So there we go. Yeah, the Scion's going to be a problem real quick. He's opted for the Bammies on that side. He's already got the completion there on his steel caps. And
oh no, he just sold him. Never mind, he baited us.
He said no to the steel caps. Hello, Boots Swifty, maybe? What are we doing here? I don't know what he's going to do.
I have no idea, but the gold lead was 2,000 for just a short second, but it is starting to close a little bit, but that's because of farm happening all across the map. I honestly am very surprised at how the state of this game is currently going. I mean, we have 11 kills, it's 8 minutes, and are we watching LXC or are we watching the LPL? What's going on? Now mid lane.
Throws the ult out immediately. However, the Ari walked in and did not wait. She got immediately ulted by the Annie and punished, and the Makai is going to have to walk away. Again, with the love fest up top, Ornn and Scion are just taking shots at each other, see who's got swinging the bigger club today. And he should be able to get a chip shot on here, maybe get one plate. Hang on. Wu is coming out for the Scion. The Scion will land a Q. Wu is going to ult immediately.
Oh my God, he's out.
And the Scion's going to say, bye, Felicia. And one straight into the Annie. He's going to land a Q. Is the Ari going to give here in time? I don't. The Ari is ulting to get into position. This is really risky. Hang on. Whoa, the Makai came there. All right. They're gonna push away. There's a lot of ults that got burned there. The Ari burning your ult, trying to get into position. The Scion burning the ult to get away and say hello to the Annie. And yeah, right now, bot is looking like the stable Saiyan players. They're the ones that are not really, they're just farming away going, it's 6-6, what's going on everywhere else? All right, again up top, here we go. The Oran's going to say hi to the Saiyan. There we go. That was the smart play from the Oran. He bull rushes through. He's able to avoid the Scion Q. Now the Oran Horn is going to come out. It's going to flash onto the Scion. He hits it. Scion's now on the run, and the Orn gets the shutdown on the Scion. Now the bull rush away, get himself out, and good trade from the Orn that time. He was able to use his bull rush correctly, able to get through and dash through the Scion Q and avoid a good chunk of that damage. So
yeah, definitely 100%. Looks like the dragon's being started on the other side of the map as a result of that. So we have the Chemtech dragon going over to the side of, I forget who's on red side right at the moment. Baron buddies, my bad. I just looked down and I'm like, I should stop being stupid, but I blame it being Monday and I'm half dead from work. But we have another fight in the bot lane actually, but it looks like nothing will come out of it as the chains do hit. But what happening topside? Rift Herald was done by the Wukong.
The Wukong is going to get stunned, is going to get charmed from the Ari. The Scion, being the gracious top that he was, went ahead and held his damage and let the Ari pick up the kill. I believe that is a good, smart play from the Scion, putting that kill onto the Ari. She's still down 2 kills to the Annie. She's a little behind on CS, so she really does need to get a little bit more involved here and get some damage done. So good job from the Scion letting this man take a kill there.
Yeah, I didn't even know that Wukong was doing the rift on the other side of the map. I was too busy kind of looking through the CS numbers, as you had mentioned, go lead to the bot lane. Looks like Annie is going to get engaged here, and probably the one-shot the Ignite is taking, and I think she does die.
She does get it. Ari wasted her ult for nothing. Maokai's going to put his ult on top of the Annie. He's going to root her up. He's going to stun her, but she unfortunately eats a stun to the face, and there goes the Annie double kill. Ouch, that's a painful one.
That's
trading that over. That's unfortunate. Here we go with the Scion again, trying to say hi to the Wukong. Wukong's going to use his ult, going to reapply the ult. Here comes the Orn. However, the Orn does get some damage in, and Scion, I believe, might get this kill onto. No, the Wukong is able to live. The Orn with the dash to save the Wukong, and they are able to kill the Scion and put another kill onto the Orn.
Yeah, so the reason why the Annie play kind of went so awry for Red Face Beast and Kuro is because she had finished the Ludens before that play had happened. So she's been done with that for a little bit now with all those extra kills she's been getting. And as a result of that, she's just so far ahead, and just that was insanely risky to go for that play. But down here in the bot lane, it looks like right now their only solace is going to be the Xayah right now. The Scion, I will say at the moment right now. Mid lane is kind of over, I will say. This Annie is super far ahead. They just need to kind of play back, let this Ari farm up, finish the Frost, not the Frostfire, Everfrost, there we go. Finish the Everfrost right now and let her kind of like be that setup that they need her to be later in those team fights. Now, I'm kind of opinionated against Everfrost on Ari. I mean, but going Airy, it kind of makes sense. Ari, Lamau. Kind of. Oh, well, never mind. We have a fight in the bot lane. Maokai is here, and the flash being burned on the Jinx.
Maokai is able to get the ult on top of both of them.
Here.
However, Wukong is coming up. Woo! My goodness, the damage on that Xayah. She's able to delete that poor little Lulu. Not the Jinx. She doesn't get rid of the Jinx, and the Annie's able to fall in and clean this up. Oh my goodness, the Ari's not there in time. This Milio is on the run. Wukong or somebody's going to get a hold of her. I would give that. No. You don't want to give that kill to the Jinx. You should have given that kill. Yeah. Thank you, Milio, for not giving that. Give that to the Orn. Ari is just disrespecting this Annie, walks over and just gets ult clicked and die. This Annie is 8-1, Ari. That is the last person you want to be disrespecting right now.
The best assassin in the game. She didn't even know she was there. She just pressed R, pressed W, and electrocute Rex, and she was dead. Also, I was gonna say first tower. Never mind. Sion got it forever ago. But this also should be the mid lane tower falling down as well. I would assume, anyways. Come on, Director Kim, take us back. There we go. All right, so the tower does fall in the mid lane, so more gold. I mean, even though the score is 14-8, somehow the gold is still within 200 of each other. Absolutely nuts the fact that the state of this game is this close, even how like bloody it has been, and this kind of suddenly makes sense why the damage numbers were so high. If you remember when I was talking about earlier for the stat check I was doing, this is why the stats are high. It looks like Wukong might be a little caught out here, but never mind, he's gonna go ahead and just walk out of there with the clone. But this is why the damage numbers are so high, because these teams will just scrap. They will if they find an angle, they will scrap for it. This is exactly what the LPL also does. But what is Zaya
walking forward alone into the Lulu and the Jinx, and she says, I don't care, I don't need anybody, I will kill this Jinx. She goes right onto the Lulu with no health. She's not trying to kite away, she's trying to pour more damage onto that Lulu. She is able to finish off that Jinx. They're gonna dive this Lulu. This Lulu gets eaten by the Scion. Just disrespecting this bot lane. This Zaya says, I don't need a team to kill and attack two people. Although I will say the Zaya does have 40 CS, but here comes the Annie. Click ult. She is going to kill the Maokai. Now she's running from the Scion. She's running from the Milio. She's going to flashback over the wall. Emilio with the combo from her EQ, and there goes Emilio, and the Scion's like, no, I'm not dealing with this. I'm just gonna walk away. This Annie is 10-1. What a wrecking ball she is.
Best assassin in the game. I'm telling you. You thought Zed was the best assassin? Nah. You thought Talon was the best assassin? Nah. You just have a 10-1 Annie just flash ult you and you insta-die. That's the best assassin in the game right now. She better get a Magi. She has 10 stacks on the Dark Seal. Scion, what are you doing here, bud? What are you doing?
Scion says, I don't see your Annie, so I'm okay to walk in unmitigated, but as soon as that Annie shows up, he might not want to do that.
Shadow Flame done. Oh my
She's
God.
not taking any MR. The Zaya opted to go the energized route early, and she's looking to finally get a little bit more damage out of her. The Ari, she hasn't even completed her first item. She switched and she tries to get some magic resist to resolve the Annie issues. However, they're just going to give away and trade out this particular dragon for the Rift Herald. I think Baron Buddies are going to be okay with this trade as long as they can get this Herald out in time. Here comes the trade shot.
They're coming.
Make sure it gets out. He's going to use his ult. The Ornhorn is going to be out. The Ornhorn is going to catch the Milio, and that is not the way you want to run Milio. You're going to want to go the other direction. All right. He realized he didn't want to go that way, and now they're going to back off and not get rid of the fight. That's probably a good idea. I'm not certain I want to fight any choke point with that Annie right now. This Annie is looking for blood. She is walking into the Scion. She does not care. She's just going to use it for bait. I think she's going to use it for bait. She's going to run away. She was going to see if anybody else followed so she can delete them. She knows she can't delete the Scion, but she knows that the Scion can't outright kill her yet. So she was just playing a little game of chicken, and no one wanted to play with her other than the Scion. So well done there from both teams, respecting not to take any bit more. We'll see them go back to their respective areas here. You see the Jinx and the Lulu. You know, with that tower going down, I would have expected them to rotate mid and put the Annie bot because there's no one other than the Scion that's really going to want to go down there and say hello to that Annie otherwise. So it looks like
anyone should be saying hi to that Annie, to be completely honest with you. I mean, she has 2 items. I mean, the Ludens is done, the Shadow Flame is done. She is literally, besides the Scion and maybe the Maokai, she's going to blow up the 3 people on their team right now. It's going to Koro, Ultra, and Liv. The 3 of them will not survive a full combo Annie. There's just no way. And honestly, with how far ahead she is, I wouldn't be surprised if she's either, buys Magi's or even goes Deathcap next, or even Void Staff, to be completely honest with you. Because if she's looking to, decimate everybody, the gold lead is still... Oh, no, please. Please. Okay, she gets the ulti.
She didn't get the ulti. She is going to get re-ulted back. There comes the 3. There comes the shot. They're going to land. They're getting the damage on there. Are they going to put it onto the Zaya? Gets the shutdown on the on. That is exactly where you want that shutdown to go. The Annie got a little bit too cocky. She did eat the Maokai ult, and the Ahri did land a solid charm, and we do see the Annie fully go down. That's half the stacks of the Magi's gone, and so we might see that. However, we see the Wukong dive onto the Zaya. He's able to ult. He's now on top of the Milio. The Milio is able to get some distance. There is a teleport coming out. Here comes Ahri to see if we're going to get a full engage. The Oranhorn goes up. The Oranhorn hits only one little target. However,
oh my goodness, he's almost
dead. From Ahri, she came in. She tried to grab the Jinx, but she dies. The Jinx is able to get the kill out. The Scion is polymorphed, but he's on top of this poor Lulu. Now he's switching targets onto the Jinx. Scion, you don't have a lot of damage dealers with you, buddy. I'm not certain you want to continue this chase. He's going to flash and cue the Jinx. He is still doing. Annie is coming. Annie says, hello, have you seen my Tibbers? The Scion says, I don't need your Tibbers. He's hitting the Q onto the Annie. He's still tanking. However, he is going to fall down here momentarily. Able to get his passive in, but he's not going to get much there with that Lulu able to polymorph. And so we do trade a kill onto the Jinx. We did a kill on that Ahri. We do see the Scion die and the poor Zaya die, but more so from the Wukong able to get in the back line there, getting Zaya down before she could really do anything. So good little skirmish there, starting with the Annie kill and then it trickulated down. Ahri had a little bit better positioning there. I think that fight goes a lot better for him. I think she got caught out in a spot she didn't want to be in, and
it wasn't just that as well. It's also that there was kind of like a split 4v4 fight that kind of happened there in the mid lane, as we saw. And it was kind of weird because like they had a little bit of a split focus, if that makes sense. It looked like that they had the game plan to kind of focus down the Wukong first, but the Wukong kind of just got too far ahead, because the clone, and then Ahri kind of greeted for him, and then he ends up killing her on the other side. Unfortunately, Jinx having no sums means she gets ran down by the Scion, so that's just your classic 80 carry. I can't deal damage to a 330 stack Heartsteel Scion, so there's that. And I wonder how much health he has. Can we possibly see how much health he has, or no?
Well, he's already got the armor. He is able to hit the Q on. We do see that the damage coming out onto the Wukong. However,
going for this. Oh my god.
Scion is going all in. He does get poly walked away. Annie is going to run through the team. She's going to ult everybody. However, she does not ult correctly. She's immediately going to get stunned and knocked up, and the Annie goes down. A little bit of a misplay from that Annie. I know she was feeling herself. I know she was trying to get the right target. However, the tree ate that ult really instead of the Zaya or the Ahri, so they were able to collect that Annie, if you will. However, Ornn is still up top. The dragon is coming out. I'm assuming that the Scion is going to go and respond to this. I do see the Wu getting in the position. He might go for the steal by himself. He doesn't look like his team's coming over, so it does look like he's going to hover. The Scion there we go. We're going to see the Scion and the Ornn kind of play. I want to see the Wukong. I know he's setting up for the steal. He's got his team behind him, but he decides to give it up, and they just take that particular dragon. So good adjustment onto the Annie to get the damage on her. Absolutely. The Ornn and the Scion are going to trade and posture here and see who's king of the jungle. The Ornn does have the 1 level lead on the Scion because the Scion is been hovering a lot of these team fights. But the Scion is still chunking out, and we're just gonna wait to see if this Wukong can get into this fight with this Ornn. And
never mind, he just ults away.
We see the Scion say bye.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's pretty much the Scion classic. He gets in a really precarious situation, just like, nope, psych, presses R and just goes away. And I gotta say, it's just, we're not done fighting, actually.
Makai shows up with the way too quick there. To get that ult out. So that was a little ballsy on the Makai part there. We're gonna see the Wukong here. He's not really afraid at this point. He's gonna farm, take his blue. I imagine he's gonna take the scuttle to get a little bit more vision of this Baron. We do see the Annie there down there bot. Still kind of like just seeing if she can get any picks where she needs it. If she can delete somebody.
Doesn't know she's getting an award, does she? Okay, now she does.
Okay.
I actually want to comment on the state of the game right now as we're 23 minutes in, so Baron's on the map. So right now we have two Drakes on the side of Baron buddies. They got the first cloud, so they're kind of an advantage right now in the 3.5 minutes if they want to kind of go for the soul point or force Divine Temple into an awkward situation where they can either flip the Baron or the Dragon if whatever they want. Makai is looking to go in on... Okay, never mind. He's not going to go in on her. But this next fight's actually going to be crucial. Annie does not have flash if they do get in a fight in the next like 2.5 minutes, so that is something that she's going to have to contend with and kind of stay back with a little bit. She did end up buying the Magi's after all. It has no stacks on it, unfortunately, because she has died twice since then. So that's something that she's going to have to kind of watch out for, and that she'll probably be a priority target because of that. Because it seems weirdly enough she's looking to frontline. There was that little mistake that she did have a little bit ago where she was trying to get a really cheesy ultimate, and it looked like it was going to be absolutely dire for a second. But unfortunately, just quick thinking by Kuro kind of sets it up like, nope, you're not allowed to do whatever one-shot nonsense you're going to do for our team, and that's just the end of it from there. But it looks like Sion is going to be in trouble from the Wukong here in a second. I don't know how much damage they're going to do to him, though.
I mean, he does have frozen armor. He does have that hard steel. I don't really think they're doing a lot of damage on him. The Ornn is going to try to put his ult along with the Wu. They really are not doing a lot of damage, and that Wu is getting awfully low really quick. The Sion is going to get knocked back up by the Ornn. They are starting to put a little chip damage. The Sion is flashing, trying to get away. Wukong able to get on top of him and finish him out. So he did take an extended trade. He did trade for a long period of time, and he just got CC'd and knocked up long enough for them to kill them.
Yeah, and on the other side of the map, actually what was happening was the entire team was pushing the bot lane tier 2. They didn't end up getting it because the rest of Divine Temple was there to not set up, defend that tower. So they end up getting nothing off of that play, unfortunately. So they're just kind of looking to set up, probably get more vision around the Baron area. It looks like there's more Divine wards than right now or not Divine, Baron buddy wards than Divine. The only pink ward that they have is in that little awkward bush by the blue buff on the top side of the map. So we're kind of, I won't say we're in like a lull of a game state right now at the moment, because it is still very competitive. We're only 500 gold separating these two teams, regardless of having, 35 kills right now at the moment. Ahri misses the charm, unfortunately, but I don't think she's looking really too much to kind of one-shot this Ornn. It's going to be very hard for her to do that because he's just so tanky, especially with that Jack Show. That's going to be make or break in a fight, I think, because Jack Show, honestly, is a really busted item. And the one thing that I forgot to mention before we got to this point in the game state are Ornn items. Right now, he's level 15. He's looking to probably upgrade 2 people at the moment, so he should group with his team, upgrade the Jinx especially, and the Annie. They are your 2 strongest members. Well, that's not true. Wukong is pretty strong, but I think the Annie and the Ahri are your best bet. Annie in a weird spot right now.
And he does get her ult. They are able to polymorph onto the tree. However, they are going to back away. Quick point to what you were talking about. You would want to upgrade Jinx. However, this is what I was talking about earlier. Jinx is 50 CS down, and look at her items. She is not in a good spot for this Ornn to be upgrading. You would want to upgrade, obviously, the Annie, and I probably would upgrade. The Sion ult is coming out. He is going to smack into the Wukong. However, he does not realize that the rest of the team is behind. He is going to flash over and get the damage onto the Annie. The rest of the team is not wanting to fight. Here comes the Makai, the Sion behind them. They are chasing this team. They are saying, you don't have an Annie, we can come. We're going to see Ahri ult. She is going to land with a charm. Good charm on the Lulu. She's going to use her ult, get some little bit of damage on the Wukong. I don't think she needs to go any further. I think they should run straight to the Baron from this point and secure it. They are down 2. However, the Sion is in the trees, waiting in the wings, and now he's going to get onto the Wukong. He is going to land the Q for the stun, and then he is going to walk away. So Wukong is pretty low. Good catch onto the Annie, and then the really good Ahri charm land onto the Lulu. I'm surprised it didn't immediately run down to this Baron to take it. Given that they knew that there was no vision, they knew that the Wu was out of the fight, and it had kills on 2, and they were relatively healthy, but they will just calmly reset and take a little bit more farm.
I think they feel like right now at the moment they're not willing to risk the 50-50, which is why they opted out of going for the Baron, which honestly makes sense. I mean, at that point, by the time they got to it, Lulu would have been alive, so that's a really good safe bet, and then Annie would have been alive as well. And honestly, I mean, even with this next Baron fight, potentially, Sion getting caught in the jungle once again, just going to walk out with that, not getting the blue buff. So, really crucial points we have to point out right now is Annie doesn't have flash again for this potential Baron fight. It looks like they're kind of like, not, I won't say setting up, but like, oh no, never mind, Annie's out of position.
The charge. Annie out of position. She is going to get the Q and get saved by the Lulu. However, Q follow up. The Ornhorn is going to come out to try to save them, and it is going to land up on 2. Wow. But the stun is out. The Xayah landed the stun. They are able to get damage, but that's on the Ornn. They don't want to land damage on the Ornn. The Ahri is coming from the side, trying to get damage, to get the poke damage out. Here we go. Re-engage from the side with the Milio ult. They're able to get the tower down. They're pushing forward into this team, knowing that those health bars are low. They're going to back out.
Now I think at this point you push for the Baron, but it looks like they're not going to. They're going to reset, spend some of their gold. That should be the LDR.
Yeah, I think that's why they didn't get the good reset from last time. They're gonna buy their items. They know that the Xayah is ahead, and so they're gonna want to play around it. The Sion is able to keep up farm with the Ornn, and then the Ahri has managed, in the time that Annie has all those kills, she has managed to catch up and pass her in farm. So Ahri kind of changed up the build a little bit. She did go for more of the tank killer build with the Leandries. She did get the Banshees.
Which is to survive. I'm more, again, like, I'm not upset about the Leandries. That is some damage, so thank God that you actually built damage instead of the Everfrost. I very 100% prefer that, but I still think Ludens would have been fine here, especially if you're looking to one-shot somebody. So level 16 now, actually, for Ornn. So I just randomly changed topics. I just saw Ornn's level. So we have 4 of the Ornn upgrades, so those items, Ornn items coming in more and more as the game goes on. You might think, though, that, like, you know, once we hit this point in the game, like, maybe 12,000 more gold, that, like, we're done, goldies don't matter. We're almost at that point right now, to be completely honest with you. It's going to be a little while, for maybe, like, 10, 15 more minutes, if we even get to that point. These two teams started out so scrappy, and now it seems like more collected, if that makes a lot of sense. So they're kind of chilling, they're stat checking each other, they know how they feel, they know this Annie wants to play aggressively and be like the primary engaged tool, which I find to be very interesting, and it worked, I will say, for the first like 10 minutes of the game when she was, I think, 8-1, wasn't it? Before she started going down a couple of times, but third item coming in soon. I'm assuming that is going to be the death cap. I don't see why not at this point. I mean, she's still pretty decently ahead, but now the Goldie is finally starting to recruit for BB. So Baron Buddy's feeling pretty good. We got a minute 33 till this next dragon. We got Baron's up on the map right now, and they kind of have a lot of control for Baron Buddies at the moment. Oh no, they're going to cheese this man at his red buff.
Oh my goodness, the Wukong is going to get knocked in the air. He's going to flash away. They're going to chase him. The Sion, oh my goodness, he lands the ult. The flash Q from the ult is going to kill him. And there we go. We have the Milio coming in to secure. They're going to walk away. Now we have a 4v5. They're going to take his red and say thank you very much.
I think they should actually go for the Baron for this one. He's down for 50 seconds, 30 seconds. Okay, never mind, it's a 3. He's down for 30 seconds, so I think they have the time to absolutely shred it. Xayah has enough items to where they should be able to kind of just like melt through this. And with the Titanic Hydra on the Sion as well, I mean, why not? I mean, you might as well just go for it. An extra bit of beefy front line, and yep, they're going to go for it. It is spotted, though. I do not think that they will try to answer this on the side of Divine Temple, so this should be more or less a free Baron. But as I say that, Annie and Lulu are walking up right now at the moment, but this will be long gone before they get there, and Baron will go over to Baron, but he's now expanding their gold lead to 5k. They're beelining it also to this dragon at the moment, so they are looking to get this soul. Cloud Soul is going to be huge for them. When they ult, they're going to be much faster, and that's just going to make Divine Temple like in a very unlucky position, and looks like Ornn might be in a weird position. Nope, he's not. That is 1100 stacks on the dark steel, on the heart steel, by the way, so Sion's feeling pretty good. I would love to see how much health he has, but oh my goodness, they're like tickling this man right now. That's 1200 stacks now, and he's just doing the same thing in these bushes, but this dragon has been started. They're not really focusing it at the moment. Wukong is here, but I do not anticipate a steal. They're going to try to stop him, but they're going in.
He's going to ult into the back line, but he's going to get immediately deleted by the Xayah. Sion is going to hold the line against the rest of that team, and then they're able to follow up on the
game.
Annie. Now the Ornn is on the run. They are restarting this dragon. They are chasing this Ornn. I'm frankly shocked they're not pushing straight down the middle at this point and just allowing the Scion to do it. However, they do secure the dragon. The Ornn is still tanking. He's now being caught up. The Zion's going to come from behind. He is super tanky. Is he going to land this Q onto this poor Ornn? And he is going to go down. So 30 minutes into the game where things were looking good. 34 minutes into the game now. We got a 4K lead. And they're not trying to finish. Okay,
I guess by the time they got to the base, because they kind of delayed a little bit waiting for the dragon. So I will say that's kind of on them. They could have ended the game for sure if they just kind of opted out of going for the dragon, just kind of pushed it down mid. The game could have been over, but by the time they had gotten the dragon, death timers were like 20 seconds away. So they opt out of going for it. They will reset, spend their gold after this most likely. Yep, here we go. There we go. Gold is being channeled, or gold's being channeled. Backs are being channeled. So they will spend their gold, get their next items. Now third item on the Ari. It looks like Maokai is going for the Sunfire next, and we're going right back onto the Rift. So we have more gameplay. We thought this game was over, but we were absolutely jebaited. Haha, just kidding. We were baited. I'm gonna put jebaited in chat, Lamau, because we were jebaited. No, stop with the chat rules. There we go. Do we not? I spelled it wrong. That's why. Never mind. There we go. I typed it in chat. We were debated, and that was my favorite emote for a little while. There was a streamer that had like a debate command when I would play Gary's mod with them, like, oh my goodness, like years ago. And we would play a game mode called Unalive, because I don't know if Twitch TOS will allow this sort of thing. So it was a really fun game mode where it was kind of like playing the game Clue, except it's just you kind of just messed around and just ran around doing things and getting clues and finding out who the unaliver is, and it's just a lot of fun, and it was cool. And if you ended up getting baited by someone who wasn't the unaliver, then they would just spam that emote in chat, and it was so funny. Wonder how that streamer's doing. It's been like 7 years since I've actually talked to them, so it's been quite some time. But back to League of Legends, because Gary's mod is a completely different game other than this one. So right now they have the mid inhibitor open, and it looks like and it was in the top lane split pushing. Will be getting back now. She did also have the last Ornn item done. Yep, looks like that happened when we took over level 17. There's no Baron buff anymore, so this push will be a lot harder. Not just a little, a lot harder, because the wave clear is very good on the Jinx and the Annie, and they have to stop these supers from coming in. I really want to know how much health this Scion has, because it looks like way too much. This is why I say Scion is broke. He is absolutely obnoxious as a champion, especially with Heartsteel. Annie has Titanic Hydra, so he's doing percent damage as well. Like, I can't go along with that. Riot Games, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? But they will go back to the bot lane, usher this lane in. I do not expect this lane to last too long. Looks like they might actually brute force this tower down, so I take it back. Scion with the demolish. Oh, never mind.
Ornhorn coming out. Ornhorn gonna say hi to no.
He just half health Lulu.
He's already in the back. The Ornn's in the back line. However, they're not able to get the damage that they want. The Wu tried to dive in there, but he misses all. Scion just says, I don't care about your team. I will walk through a Jinx. I will walk through an Ornn. I will walk through an Annie. Nothing they can do on that Scion. He runs down the Jinx, kills it. Meanwhile, the back line perfectly safe, and it looks like this is going to be over here pretty quickly. The Annie's still kind of posturing there, and the tree is just being ignored as they just target the inhibitor, and Baron Buddies finally goes through, breaks the base open, and the Scion can't be stopped. So, what do you think?
Scion's broke. That is what I think. He literally auto-jinxed once and she died. So, Scion's broke. That's really all I have to say about that. Wow. The thing is, too, is like that game started out so close for the longest time. It was really close, like within like 500 gold for the first like 25 minutes, which I'm honestly very shocked about. It's absolutely insane just how like violent this game was between these two teams. The Annie was 8-1 at one point. It looked like he was completely doomed, and then all of a sudden, Baron buddies are like, you know what? We're actually gonna start playing League of Legends, and then Scion got Heartsteel, and then things were happening, and Ari got items, and they started collectively fighting as a team, and so on and so forth, because all these little skirmishes were no longer allowed, and they had the track on the Annie every time. So that just swung the game in BB's favor, and they had prime dragon control, prime objective control as well. So yeah, It's just it was a nuts game. Looking forward to what we got in store for game 2. To be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I think the difference between the ADCs was pretty steep. The Jinx didn't prioritize some items she probably should have. She got behind really in farm. She was never able to really recover. I think at one point she was down to the Xayah, almost 60 CS and 6 kills. She didn't have any itemization for that Sion. The Sion just walk up to her and slap her.
Literally.
The Annie haven't, man. I really think that Annie could have won that game for him if she'd have just gone greedy, just gone straight into Ravajon, straight into Magi's, and she opted instead to switch to the Shadow Flame, and she never completed. She completed her Magi's after she had lost the stacks.
Yeah, well, I will actually defend the Shadow Flame for the Magic Pen. So actually, I think going those 2 items first was fine, but Deathcap third should have been the move. I think foregoing the Magi's entirely, yes, but going Deathcap third would have been the move. It maximizes the damage because unfortunately, after those stacks were lost, it never really got stacking again. So I think at that point the item was useless. Now that's obviously a next game thing. You know, stuff happens. You know, you're like, okay, well, we took an L. Let's make them take an L next game. So. I mean, game 2, they might got something in the tank. We don't know. I hope they got something in the tank because I want this to be a spicy second game. Spicy. I'm talking like Ghost Pepper Ranch spicy. That's what I want. I don't like anything Ghost Pepper, mind you, because I'm a little B word when it comes to spice. I'm okay with some spice, but not too much spice. Ironic, because my fiance's Hispanic and she loves spicy stuff. So. Yeah.
So no Chunky's lunch for us. No 4 Horsemen challenge. You don't want to do that burger.
I don't want to be exploding on the toilet. No, thank you very much. No, thank you. Anyway, so game 2 is coming up soon, and we'll go ahead and I think we're gonna take a small little braquet, so that way we can gather our thoughts and get ready for game 2. So we'll see you cool cats on the other side. Heidi ho. Welcome
Heidi,
back.
Heidi ho.
We're gonna do a chill draft. We're gonna put on some smooth jazz, and we're gonna. Do we have any smooth jazz actually, or no? I don't think we do actually.
No Miles Davis for us this evening, unfortunately.
Imagine if we just decided to start doing smooth jazz drafts. Wouldn't that be kind of awesome? But here we are. Game 2, Baron Buddies versus Divine Temple. They will be switching sides this time. So Baron Buddies will be on the blue side. That's actually this side because it's mirrored. So Baron Buddies will be on blue side. Divine Temple will be on red side. And the bands are starting right now. And I don't think Baron Buddies really has to adapt at all. I mean, they played pretty well. They're going to keep with the Malphite band, which makes sense. Jan also being taken off the table off rip. So I'm going to go ahead and let them speed run this draft. And let's talk about, more importantly, like what adaptations we're thinking about seeing. And actually, there's one right there. It looks like Demilio was taken off the table. And Scion as well. So never mind. We have to talk about the bands because Divine Temple has decided to adapt by taking the Scion off the table, which makes sense. I mean, he's Omega broken. He's so strong when he gets tanky. So just taking it off the table is an absolutely safe bet. And Baron Buddies sticking with their strong pick of the Zaya. Again, one of those things where it's like, yeah, first picking your AD carry is okay. You know, the other team can decide to draft around that first pick, I guess this way, because I'm still mirrored. So Divine Temple's over yonder, over here for anyone watching.
That way, not that way, but that way, but not that way.
All the different million different directions, but the response is instantly going to be the Kog'Maw, who I will say is Omega broken. If they do not pick Lulu here, they are trolling. So therefore, you have to pick Lulu because otherwise, Baron Buddies will take it away. Baron Buddies will take it away from you. So Kog'Maw Lulu is one of those staples of the game. They were really broken back in Season 7 during the Ardent Sensor meta. And then the Riot Games changed all the items once again. You know, Echoes of Helia, I believe it's called. And then you have Ardent Sensor, and then Kog'Maw as well is just doing whatever he does with Rage Blade being what it is now. And just absolutely busted. And Nautilus being the response, I'd argue, is very good here because Kog'Maw will want to sit and just kind of throw up on you. Rek'Sai as well to get on top of him. So very smart drafting from Baron Buddies so far. But now you have to have a response with that. You've already picked their jungler. It's Rek'Sai blind. It was left open this time because I believe it actually was second round banned last game, if I remember correctly. So in this instance here, they're off rip. They're like, okay, we're going to pick the Rek'Sai. We know this is a good champ for us, so we're going to enjoy it and just, you know, go through with it. And Hecarim being a really strong option as well with the Youmu's. Youmu's has been nerfed, however, but he is still a very strong champion. So, all right, they'll go ahead and lock it in. So we have the bot lane and the jungle going to go. So we can either focus on mid lane bans here, or we can focus on top lane bans again, you know, to kind of pinch that top lane pool for Baron Buddies. We saw what could happen on tanks, and I mean, the next best option after Scion, to be completely honest with you, is probably Cho'Gath. If I'm, you know, just gonna throw that out there. If Baron Buddies want to play Cho'Gath, or if Divine Temple want to ban it, you know, just my 2 cents on the whole thing. And Cassante is still being taken off the table. That champion's broke, so I have no words other than just he's broke. So that's the end of that whole thing on Cassante. But in terms of like your honest opinion of like how this draft is shaping out so far, are you expecting more of a bloodbath like in the first game?
Well, Divine Temple once again is shaping up for that long-term team fight, right? Where they have the Kog'Maw, they want the Kog'Maw to scale. The changes in his build plan makes him a lot more viable early on if he wants to get aggressive. I do like the switch from the Jinx to the Kog'Maw. I think the Kog is a much stronger pick for them and can scale infinitely better, as well as staying a little bit safer. The problem here with this particular comp is they've also paired it with the Heck, and the Heck likes to go deep. The Heck is not a champion that likes to sit around, and he likes to push the envelope. He likes to push deep. And if that Kog'Maw isn't prepared for that, Whoa, we're going to see a Triss mid to go along with this particular combo. So this goes along what I was talking. You want something to be able to follow, can go deep. What the heck when he goes deep? Enter Tristana, who's very much a lane bully, especially with the changes on her on-hit build. She can go the Rage Blade route. We're going to see a Zed to counter more of the Kog'Maw and the Trist, if you will. The problem, or fun, if you will, in this particular lineup is the Trist can bully the Zed kind of early on.
Yeah.
Really, really punish that Zed if that Zed can't get off to a good start. We do see the adaptation. We are seeing the Gwen come out. We are seeing the Gragas come out. I would assume this is going to be a Gragas top.
Yes.
And not a Rek'Sai top?
No. So I was literally going to say both these teams are lacking on the AP department right now. So the fact, I was like, all right, so who's left open that's AP? You got Ken and Gragas, Gwen. So they instantly pick up the Gragas, and then I was like, Gwen's open because they banned in the first game and not in this game, and Gwen immediately gets picked up as well. So this top lane matchup, probably going to go about the exact same as it was. They're just going to keep fighting each other until the end of time, and then it's going to be absolutely hilarious depending on who comes out on top. And then you have in the mid lane, you have Zed versus Tristana, which Tristana does win the matchup early. I'm hoping this will be the classic Hail of Blades Tristana to looking to proc that bomb faster. I mean, personally, for what I've seen in various leagues, whether that's the when Perks would play it or that was Jimenez in the LCS, they would typically take Hail of Blades, or Press the Attack actually is another one, to be able to force those fights into not force fights, but like force yourself to push the lane, get extra damage down, be able to kind of smack your opponent. But unfortunately, this is into a Zed, which once he hits 6, the matchup becomes so much harder. So if you die early to this Zed, I will honestly be willing to say that the game is, or not the game entirely, but mid lane is 100% over. Because once Zed gets ahead, it is impossible, more or less, to fight him when he gets ahead. Because every time his R is up, he's going to combo you. He's going to hit you with the LL Stylish every single time. So this mid lane matchup is going to be a lot more detrimental than in the last game, I would argue. And going now down to the bot lane, because I'm not even going to talk about jungle. The two of them are just going to fight, and they're going to farm it out in fights. So I'm not going to talk about the jungle matchup right now. But the bot lane matchup, the Kog'Maw Lulu is going to have the advantage because the Nautilus is melee, of course, in this instance. But the engage is arguably stronger because Nautilus Hook has a really obnoxious hitbox that kind of goes from like mid lane all the way down to bot lane. So no matter what, it will hit you regardless if it misses. So this could be very interesting. I do think in terms of engage that Baron Buddies has the way better engage. You got the Cask, you have the Zed ult, you have the Nautilus hook and ult, and then you even have a Rek'Sai knockup as well. And so this is gonna be a game. I think it's gonna be we're gaming on this one. I think on this as well.
So I think the Rek'Sai has an advantage here on the gank side, like you were talking about with the Nautilus engaged down bot. There's a lot of CC there for the Rek'Sai to follow up, being able to lock down a target for an extended period of time. Same with the Gragas, with the Belly Smap coming out and the Cask coming out. Really, really interested to see how this heck plays out into this matchup. There's a lot of displacement here. I'm actually kind of shocked Baron Buddies could have elected for the Mord, which really would have made that heck regret decisions, because Mord would just take the heck out of the fight, and then you're left with just the Gwen trying to hold back everything from a Zed diving onto a Lulu and a Kog'Maw and a Triss. So interesting to see that they prioritize that Gragas' last pick rather than the Mord, but again, that's a lot of CC. This Zed gets ahead. How do you deal with it? It's going to be really, really... DT's got to play this really safe. They got to play around this heckin' Gwen being able to do work for him. This Lulu needs to be on point. If that Triss or Cog gets picked, Zaya is going to cause them issues.
So, just to comment on it, I see people talking in chat right now, and yes, it is not a best of 3. I goofed at the beginning of the day. It is a block of 2. That's what the NACL does. They do blocks of 2. So, regardless of the result, it could be either 2-0 or 1-1. That's what the results can end up being. And if it's a tie, cool. Just means however many ties we have, it means I guess not really a tie per se. It's just each team got a game. But I mean, at the end of the season, we're gonna have to wait and see how that works out and see if we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot with tiebreakers. So that could be fun. But you know, we're testing things. We're testing things here. So
Not looking forward to those tiebreakers. However, if you ever want to see who has picked what under the Pick'ems channel in our Discord, you will be able to see who's picked what for what game. You will notice that every game is picked in increments of 2, so you know that there's 2 games, and then you'll see that game 1, game 2 are outlined. So we'll shout out real quickly some of these Pick'ems for that first game for Divine Temple and Baron Buddies. Let's have a look here. I see Old Man Genetics there was right on his particular pick. I see CFAM CP, the Scout 66, ZQ129. Some dude named Astroglider was also right on that particular pick. Looks a couple others there that I'll see. See a couple people. I think Soulkeeper picked DT that game. I think his record just got blown up. I think he was rocking 75%. I don't think he's rocking 75% anymore. So I think we have some coaches' predictions from earlier there as well as our staff. Do we have those available? I think we have the staff predictions for this weekend here. Let me see if we can pull these up real quick while we're getting ready here. I think they were in our realm. Do you have them up? I'm trying to find them right now.
Have them up, no. We'll get them up and we'll probably mention it in game, so that's okay. But we should be almost close to the end of Spectally, I think, if my memory serves me correct. So while we get those fun little numbers up, we will mention them in game if we find them. We're just gonna go ahead and take it to a real quick break. You know what that means? It means we're going to game 2, and game 2 is gonna be exciting. So be there or be square. I'm gonna do the showmaker actually if you're not there for game 2. See you after this. Heyo, welcome back for game 2 between Divine Temple and Baron Buddies. As you can see, we are now on the Rift. It is all good and The score is 1-0. I lost my complete trail of thought because I was thinking about what I'm having for lunch tomorrow at work. So ignore me because I also have like mildly annoying ADHD, so that happens from time to time.
So we are seeing the Nautilus step forward.
Yeah,
are we going to see the infamous classic Nautilus invade? There is ward in place to spot this out, and they don't have the correct ward for this to work. I believe
it's warded in the river, so I do.
Yeah, no. I mean, the Rek'Sai has the sweeper, but usually you would have the Nautilus if they were going to do this out. He would also have the sweeper as well, and would be pushing forward to sweep out. So that tells me that they're just going to do some shenanigans, and they're not going to do anything kind of fun here, and just kind of let this tick out, I believe.
There's no shot. They're gonna wait the whole minute 30 to. Okay, never mind. They're late invading.
They're gonna delay invade. They're gonna walk over the ward because they didn't have the sweeper. They even swept late, so they're not gonna see it. So everybody knows what's coming. They're gonna walk right out, and they're gonna be late. So unfortunately for them, this means that the Heck is going to get a lot of information off that. Rek'Sai is going to go and start solo. Heck as well as waved off his team, and so we're just going to kind of see a standard no leash setup. Again, back what we saw last matchup, we're going to see the top lane kind of posture, kind of look at each other, smack each other around here, establish dominance, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't think that Gwen's going to like this arrangement for the first couple of levels. Oh, we do see the hook. The Nautilus will land the anchor and get a little damage onto the Kog'Maw.
Yeah, and he's forced to flash, especially at level 1. That's not good. So this is contention point for the Rek'Sai to come down there when they get the chance. And I'm actually surprised the Violing's going in their favor. It looks like also heavy trading here on the top side. Meet Dr. Thug is less than half HP. I do think if Gragas gets full combo up, he will kill. I don't know what he started next, but they're just, oh goodness, we're fighting all over the map.
Trist is going to push into the Zed. This is pretty standard of the Trist. She wants to W in. She wants to land her abilities on the Zed, get a lot of damage in. The Gwen, she's got an early, kind of a crappy early game, if you will. She doesn't trade so well. Right? She misses. Yeah, if she misses anything and the Gragas hits his old combo, that Gwen's gonna die. Bot lane, we got a really solid push. Oh, here we go up top again. And Gwen's gonna phase out.
Oh no!
She is gonna leap ahead into this Gragas and get a better trade than I thought she would. The Gragas, I think, mistimed and then didn't get a good trade there, but Gwen able to get a good trade. Bot's kind of just pushing directly to tower. Rek'Sai's already middle, trying to get a Zed right from getting pushed back by the Trist. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to see a little bit of trade here down below. Nope, they're just going to kind of walk off. I think they know that the Rek'Sai is not going to be able to get in here. So Gwen able to get a little poke damage on the Gragas, but the Gragas is going to heal a little bit. I know that the nerf kind of targeted his ability, his sustain for laning. I don't really think it was enough at this point, honestly. I think Gragas is still kind of a strong pick, so I wouldn't expect him to suffer too much.
To be fair, what does it matter when you're going up against Gwen anyways? Because when that champion gets 2.5 items, she's shredding health bars anyways. So I think that's the champion they need to target a little more, because like I have seen what a fed Gwen can do in pro play and in my own games. It's not fun to play against, and it's not even fun to watch either. But
Rek'Sai coming behind. Rek'Sai was a little late coming in from behind, or the Zed went a little bit early. However, they are able to force this Tristana back, and more importantly, the Nautilus able to anchor and land on top. They are putting the damage down. The Xayah is almost able to finish out one more auto, and I think she would have done it. The Gwen able to trade. Again, we're getting some spicy actions here. This Zed's going to get a little crazy here. Able to get the little sneak onto the Trist and get the kill. That is really good. Starting off for the Zed to get ahead early. We're seeing the Gwen starting to establish dominance now. She's reached that point in 5. She's got the CS lead on the Gragas. The Gragas can't really trade with her now because she was able to get that good trade in early. She's got a small lead for herself, 15 CS, a little bit over this Gragas. and we'll kind of see how that plays out. I will correct myself from earlier, Freak. I said on a prediction part that Soul had incorrectly picked against BB. I am mistaken, since Soul sets up the predictions. He's able to pick both. So I'm not certain now I'm liking that particular setup, guys, but apparently even when Soul's wrong, he's right. But in this particular case, he says he did pick the correct team there. So
I'm not a fan of that. Gwen hitting 6 here, and I do think Gragas will. Okay, never mind. I thought he was gonna die. She could greed for that. I don't see a reason to.
I think she could have, but he would have been at her own health, and yeah, I don't think at this point she'll take the CS lead. She'll take the ability to drive it back off. He's gonna have to burn his TP to come back to lane, and if she wants to get anything accomplished, he would have to push up against her. So rightly choosing to just get the CS lead at this point, force him to go back, and then force him to burn a lot of mana if he wants to try to push this lane ahead. Where Gwen doesn't have to burn his TP and she can just walk back to lane. So
no, she's burning the TP, but engaging the bot lane.
Here on the bot lane, back onto that poor Lulu. The poor Lulu able to get herself out at the last minute. However, again, this bot combo looking pretty scary. Cog has got 18 CS to Zaya's 40. That's a big difference.
I also wanted to comment on the mid lane as well. Zed getting that first blood and has a 13 CS lead. He's feeling pretty good about where he is. He's also level 6, and he's online, so Homeboy might hit him with the LL Stylish here in a second. He's walking. Kuro's walking up and really wants to go for this. Dragon does go over another Chemtech. That is the first Drake, as I meant to say. And I think under tower, I think he will wait for the Ignite to come back up, and he will go for the dive onto the Tristana. I don't blame him, to be completely honest. I mean, he can just shadow back out anyways. So, okay.
Oh, he missed his combo and missed it just by an inch. Else Triss would have been saying goodbye. We do see the Gwen kind of leap in a little bit and dash, and the Gragas belly bounce her out. However, this Gragas must be careful right here. She does not want to push up into this Gwen. The Heck is right there waiting. The Heck is really out farming. Here we go with the Zed. He's going to trade. He's going to trade the Q. I'm shocked he didn't ult.
There it is.
There's the ult. There's the combo. There's a dead Tristana, and the Zed walks away.
Yep, I've been in that situation so many times. I mean, it's just when you get low enough and you can assume the Ignite's up, he'll probably just end up killing. But we have a 1v1 here in the top lane. I don't think Dr. Thug wins this. Actually, I might have lied.
Yeah, the combo from the Gwen just said goodbye to Gragas' health bar. The flash, the Q, and he does finish off that Gwen. Gwen got a little too frisky there when the Gragas walked away. The Gragas said, okay, I'll re-engage and chug a beer in your honor. So Gragas able to get the solo kill onto the Gwen, able to get a little bit of farm back into place, and Baron Buddy's looking pretty good here. They got a 3-0 lead. They got almost a 2K, 1.5K gold lead there. But really the big thing is Zaya's already establishing dominance. I don't like the Doran's Blade on the Cog. If you're going to play a long game, I kind of think you should have gone the Cole, at least get more out of it, but I might be crazy.
That is very true, yeah. I mean, really heads up play from Spawn of Hell. I mean, Dr. Thug not having flash, that's something that has actually changed as of recently thanks to Bin on BLG. He has decided instead of taking the Ghost to take flash, and now we've seen a lot of Gwens take the flash instead of Ghost, which makes sense, especially when you can get those kind of outplays or when you get into those sticky situations. So not saying that's Dr. Thug's fault, maybe just didn't have the correct read, and that's, not his fault. Sometimes that Gragas damage can get a lot out of control. It's also going to be an AP Gragas. So the only tank that will be on the team is the Nautilus at this point. So if this Hecarim is gonna go tank, that's ideal. I understand. Gwen, if she can catch up, can start shredding some of these. Hello. Nautilus is just awkwardly in the river. This might not be a good precarious situation, but Zaya engaging in on the Lulu. Okay,
Zaya able to get some damage. The Heck is here. However, the Zaya does have her ult. She does ult away from the Heck. The Heck able to push her back in. The Zaya is still able to get away. She's going to get. She's going to turn around, land the stun. She gets the root on top and able to delete the poor horsey. Now on top of the Lulu, able to get to the Nautilus. Double kill on the Nautilus. The Nautilus is just cleaning house here. The Nautilus is still going, but we see the Triss getting pushed to the tower. I don't know what the Triss was thinking. That's going to. The Nautilus is still going. He does land the anchor and triple kill to the support Nautilus. Not where you want those kills to be going, but these things happen.
You know who literally did this yesterday? It was, oh my god, who was it? Oh wait, actually fighting the top side. I'll hold that thought in a second.
Wow, the Gwen able to land a damage onto the Gragas. The Gragas is Q able to return some damage, and the Gragas is going to belly bounce. Shout out to Soulkeeper. That's how he plays Nautilus. He says he's just cutting it off. We are going to see the Heck come up, say hi to the Gragas, and able to get that shut down right away back on there. So small win for there. Zed able to pull away, gets a lot of damage onto that particular tower. Hang on, we're going to see this Heck.
Oh,
he doesn't know that
here.
the Rek'Sai is here. The Zed is going to Q come over the wall here in a second. Oh, he's going to use his ult on top of the Heck. The Heck is running for his life. But with that ult and that Rek'Sai, they're able to get that kill and secure it. So we do see, unfortunately, the Rek'Sai take the kill. I'd like to see that really on the Zed at this point to snowball it. But Zed is 3-0. He does already have some distance on that Tristana. And is able to go right back to the lane. Not really missing his CS, but now he's going to harass his Tristan a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, he has the Dirk. We can assume he's going Duskblade here. That's the typical Zed build. Whoa, wait and see what he's going for. You should have plenty of gold to get most of... Oh, no,
Nautilus.
The carry goes in.
Land the Q onto the anchor. The root from the... will lock him up. However, Lulu will save the Kog'Maw and they will walk away. Although the Xayah took a little bit more damage. Oh my goodness, the Riku back on top is able to root the Kog'Maw into place. However, the Xayah has to ult Lulu and the Kog'Maw for the double kill. Well played by the Xayah. Really well-timed ult. Lulu walked too close, able to get the double kill. That was such a clean
very different game
part on
that game one. Very different game.
So here we're seeing
the cancel.
And the root is going to stop the W from getting away, and the Triss is dead. This is 12-2, boys. This is not looking good. They are not sprawling and brawling as good as that first game is. The Gragas is just sitting back. The Gwen. The ult into the tower. Sick play from the Gragas.
Oh, never mind.
The Gwen survives it, turns around and slices.
Wait, the carry is here. Nautilus is up here.
Oh, Nautilus!
The
Nautilus is coming in for this particular kill. The Nautilus, is he gonna get the Gwen? Nautilus is gonna get the Q and just kill the Gwen. Well done. This Nautilus is 4-0, establishing that support can take the kills if you play the Nautilus.
So while we have a little bit of a lull in the meantime, so it looks like, according to the staff predictions, Momo, Soulkeeper, and Vish voted for a 2-0, and they're pretty on track right now. And Zed's going in, actually. I think Hecarim lives, but we'll pick up this Makai. And the Drake was stolen!
Steals it, and then she's going in. He's going to follow the flash onto, oh my goodness, and that is not good. That is not what you want to see. The Rek'Sai is able to get the double kill. Oh, the Xayah able to get the Kog'Maw. They're re-engaged on top. The Xayah is just going crazy, kiting away. Is the Heck going to be able to finish it off? Finally, the Xayah goes down from the Heck, but not before she gets to Tristana.
Gwen is doing something cheeky. Oh, never mind. It was going to be cheeky, but
here comes the Nautilus. The Nautilus is now engaging the Heck. I don't think the Nautilus understands how that works. I don't think he likes this engagement. Nautilus, you don't win this engagement, buddy. The Heck is going to start healing on you, and the Heck is going to now say, hey, I don't know who you think you're fighting here, but you shouldn't be fighting me. The Nautilus will Q back into the tower and walk away, realizing that he is not a mid-Nautilus, and he does not have the itemizations to be playing with a Heck.
Let's be real, Mid-Nautilus was bad, and it's really funny that G2 baited T1 into doing it. That's honestly the best part about MSI. But, we're kind of in a wild state of the game right now. I mean, we're fighting all over the map every time, just like in game one. Those team fights, honestly, that last team fight was mildly even, I would argue. I mean, Hecarim got 2 kills. The Drake was unfortunately stolen, so they do have 2 Drakes. They're up 2 Drakes right now, and it is an Infernal Rift. I believe it was Cloud last game, so this one is going to be kind of detrimental depending on which side gets it. But honestly, if Baron Buddies end up with with the soul, they're pretty much just gonna melt through just with everybody. Oh please, no, he has family. No.
Is gonna come in and say thank you for leashing this blue for me. I will go ahead and take it. Delete the poor pony who has opted actually for the Trinity Force build, which was come back into style. I've seen a lot of Hex running the Eclipse build. I'm more of a fan of the Trinity build myself, so we are going to see the not Q into the tower, able to root up. The Zaya will follow up with the root, but this is Lulu we're talking about. And then now we're seeing a dive from the Gragas and the Rek'Sai, and they will take out the Gwen. The Gragas will walk away, and now they're just going to clean up this wave and more than likely clean up this tower. We might see him start the Herald here immediately.
Yeah, they
looks like what he's going to do.
I mean, I think they should. Cog was going to get dove here, so we're just not going to worry about that. He's just unluckily under tower, but first tower will go down in the top lane instead.
Oh my goodness, Cog. You do not want to stand there. We see the Zaya. She gets help from their Nautilus, and then she just says, okay, well, if you're just going to stand there, I'll just kill you.
I mean, I'd do the same thing if it was my game. Zed probably going to get another kill here.
Zed gets ulted by the Trist, outplays the Trist who W's in, and the Trist walks away, calmly starts ulting, able to get his W off. He's going to shadow out, I think, when he kills the Trist, and he's going to try to start walking away. He is going to get away from the Heckle, but the Heckle is going to charge back in so badly, Heck. So bad you greeted that tower, that Gragas was waiting for you. The flash from the Q will miss. However, the Rek'Sai is here to knock up this poor Lulu, who's no man's land, is going to die. We see the Kog'Maw and the Zaya alone. I do not expect this Kog'Maw to try to play with the Zaya right now, who is 5-2, does have twice your CS. They're just going to run it down mid. They do have the Herald. They're just going to go ahead and take this particular tower. They probably will get another tower. They probably will get the inhib on the state here, depending on if they want to push this or not.
Inhib power, I think, but I don't think they're going to get the actual inhibitor at this point. With that timers not being long enough, it is risky, unless they just dive this. Alright, never mind, we're good. Okay, so the inhibitor tower will fall. They're going to keep fighting, though. Lulu all being used, but Nautilus Hook does miss. I think you just disengage here, don't go any further.
Walk away. There we go.
It's not even worth it. So the objective bounty will be claimed in the top lane by the Gwen, so a little bit of extra gold on the side of Divine Temple. And I have to say, it's almost a 10,000 goldie to 17 minutes. It's looking dire for Divine Temple, unfortunately. They do have a good start with the Hecarim having 3 kills. Kog'Maw has 2. I think once he finishes his Rage Blade and 1 more item, he will be viable, but it's going to take a lot of time. They just have to kind of turtle, farm up these lanes. I mean, there's another Drake coming up in the next little bit here. I'm not sure how long that is going to come up. I'm assuming within the next, like, maybe 30 seconds or so. So it's just one of those things where it's just an unlucky game, I would have to say. It's just because the Zed got too far ahead. He's looking forward during I think this is the classic Dustblade Hydra build that we saw at the beginning of the season, which was absolutely broke. Not as broke, but still really strong. I mean, with the item changes, with the lethality, Zed is one of those champions that kind of propelled himself back into the game by accident, I would argue. But he's just strong right now ahead of the Tristana. Unfortunately, 1-6. She does have the Kraken Slayer, which will help against the Rek'Sai, the Nautilus, and the Gragas. I only say kind of the Gragas because he's not really going tank. Homeboy's going full AP, gonna like Panunu combo you to death, and that's just kind of how that's gonna go.
He's 5-2 with the Ludens and Archangels, and he's saying, "I will combo you, and you will die unless your name is Heck."
That too. No, actually, I think he can still blow up Hecarim, to be completely honest with you. Not like a full 3 ability combo, but I think he still can blow him up. But they should just get this inhibitor. I mean, it's kind of free in 19 minutes, and there's really nothing they can do to stop them. They can't fight this, and the Gwen is not here. Gwen's here now, but the inhibitor's already down. It's 19 minutes. They're on soul point.
I think if he's got a flash, he would use it in Q, but he already used it earlier on the Lulu, so he's not able to get that. He knows he wanted to get that Lulu on that play if he had his flash, but understands he can't get it. The Gwen is going to posture on the side here, look and see if she can't get some poke on you here.
Oh, he flashed.
I think the Zed saying screw it, he goes in, gets some chunk damage. We're going to see the Heck come out and the Land of Fear. They are fighting in the tower.
Never mind.
Yeah. This Zaya is doing work from behind. She is able to finish off and is able to secure the kill. She gets the double, she gets the Heck. This Zaya's problem.
if they weren't low, I think the game's just over, but Xayah has no HP, so they have to back off. There are supers pushing in. They do have red buffs, so they might just crack open this tower and then go for it. I do not believe that the Triss can 4v1 here. She will
I
just die
think the
if she
Triss is going to
stays.
get caught if she stayed. Wisely decides to say, no, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to concede this tower. I'm going to concede this inhib. However, it is 20 minutes. We have 2 inhibs cracked. They're going to walk away here. They're going to reset. Xayah just got a double kill.
Get the other inhib.
They're going to leave it in a weird state. I don't know if the creeps are going to finish this, guys.
They're not going to. The respawns are too low.
I think they wanted to take that, but they'd opt to get the blue instead of finishing off the inhib. Again, the Xayah is already 7-2. She's already getting her next item ready and lined up. She's a bit of a problem, like we talked about before.
Yeah.
And really, with the Triss being behind, the Triss can farm. That's good news, right? So you have the Triss farming, you have the cognitive ability to farm, but I don't, with the heck going that Trinity Force build and going to dive so deep, how do you frontline for this team?
You kind of can't, to be completely honest with you, especially with so much backline dive that arguably the Gragas has, and especially the Zed. I mean, we know Zed has backline dive. It looks like the 1v1 is not going to go the way. He dodges all of the scissors.
But the Gwen is going to stay here. We do see the Xayah coming up. We do see the Rek'Sai coming up. The Gwen is at half. That Zed is going to ult, and that's a dead Gwen. And that's a dead Gwen in the situation where the Baron's right here. So I think they will turn to this Baron almost immediately. They know that they've got one inhib already down. They can't really respond. This is kind of what we saw towards the end of the last game, where this is free. And we're kind of back to this state a little bit earlier than we were last time. So it's 27 to 8 and
He's gonna try.
He's there.
Oh.
He's not going to be there for very much longer. He's going to go down pretty quick. That's a dead pony. So now we've got... They're not even resetting, boys and girls. They are coming straight into the jungle to take more farm, and they're not even bother resetting.
We also casually point out that everyone on the other side has a bounty, even including the Nautilus, mind you, who did get that triple kill. It wasn't officially a triple kill, but it basically was after that fun little bot lane play that they have. But I think they're just going to push these minions in, break the second inhibitor, guide these supers into the base, and at this point, I mean, they're strong enough to where they could probably threaten the end to just let minions kind of do all the work. But it looks like Xayah will start slapping these towers. I do not think they can stop this no matter what they do. I mean, sure, they can just wait for Gwen and Hecarim to be here, but it's going to be very, very hard. They're down 13,000 gold, and yeah, you heard me right, 13,000 gold. So this Zed is going to be bringing this in this bottom wave. Going to be going with the classic 4-1. Gwen is going to try to go to the immune, but these Nexus towers are going to start getting slapped a little bit, and I do not think there's much to do. They have to force a fight here.
Jaeger Zanich is going to set it up. Oh my goodness, the pony gets deleted. This Xayah is going ham. The Triss able to return onto the Xayah thanks to getting a little bit of help from the Gwen. However, the Gwen just gets flashed and killed here, and then
okay.
Gets a little cheeky here. They're still just attacking the inhib guys. Gonna style and body into the cockpot die. However, we still have the Rek'Sai to sit here calmly hitting the Nexus. The Nautilus will burn the ult, and the Rek'Sai will calmer heads will prevail there and take the Nexus. Kudos to Baron Buddies. That was a much cleaner game.
Absolutely.
DT had way too many challenges in that draft to answer for. Unfortunately, just not able to keep that Triss safe, and then the heck trying to play so far in. Kind of what we talked about before. Just not. That's hard to pull off.
Yeah, and I mean, Zed he got the first blood, and from there, I mean, the mid lane was pretty much over. Every time he was able to dive the Tristana, he took the opportunity to. That's exactly what you see even in normal games as well. Zeds love to tower dive when you're low, and they will do it every single time. So, as a result of that, gains the Garner's lane in the mid lane. The top lane also kind of goes awry because Swan ended up doing his own thing up there, outplaying the Gwen twice and getting his own kill as well. So it is what it is. I mean, it happens, but I mean, game 1 was much closer than it was. But game 2, I think they were just Divine Temple were unfortunately just straight out drafted, and that's not their fault. I mean, it happens from time to time. And one thing that I will kind of briefly touch on for a moment in terms of like Baron Buddies to be exact, is they came in with a game plan, and they executed that game plan in game 2, and everything went according exactly to plan. The Nautilus triple kill was a little out of there, but I mean, hey, sometimes that's something we like to see. I mean, Mickey X did it yesterday, ended up getting like I think almost the quadra kill on Rakan, which was really funny, and it was just a time, and it's really funny to see these supports going crazy at it like they do. So, on that note, GG's to Baron Buddies. They move up to 3-0. Or is it 4-0? Wait, how's the math working?
4-0.
I'm doing it in best of series. I've been watching so much of the LPL recently. It's like, okay, so they are 4-0. 4-0. And then Divine Temple will be 2-2. So they still have a chance to, to there's so much improvement. I believe there's like 5 weeks or something in the regular season, so there's plenty of time for them to kind of catch up, not understand, but like adapt to the meta and whatnot, and so on and so forth. And I think they'll be fine. They're a good team, so I think they'll be okay. Baron Buddies are, I think, arguably the clear favorites. I mean, the stats we were reading at the beginning of the day, they were obnoxious. They play really well together, and hey, I mean, they're the team to beat right now.
Yeah, so Baron Buddies, they were in a situation where they had to swap their support with their jungle into the support, with their main support not being able to play. Transition looked fine, honestly. I mean, Liv played really good. He played really clean. He did a lot of work on that Nautilus. I think early game, I can only recall he missed one anchor. Other than that, he pretty much landed everything, landed his combo. Yep. I don't think he missed much. So, I mean, clearly he can run not jungle if he likes. He can just slap that puppy into the jungle and just continue on playing the Nautilus. And now you can play the carry because, who doesn't love a carry Nautilus out of the jungle?
True. Haven't seen that since like season 6 though, so that could be very interesting to kind of whip back out. But overall, I mean, very fun series. Ends up being a 2. Why can't I do a 0? 2-0. Good lord.
0.
I don't know why. It's like my brain was like 1 for some reason. I'm like, can you not do that? But I think because it's getting late and like, we have work tomorrow, blah blah blah. But speaking of tomorrow, actually, I don't know if you're here tomorrow, but I am. I'll be here tomorrow. But I think the other person shall be back, if my knowledge is correct. Hopefully Bish can confirm that for me. So yeah. We got standings that were just posted, so that's actually pretty cool. So yep, looks like top of the table are Baron Buddies. TD are 3-1, Divine Temple 2-2, like I mentioned. Brad Bolster Gaming are 1-3. CB Tabernacle, goodness gracious, are 0-2, and Eclipse Gaming Hellfire are also 0-2. So it's pretty close. There's still plenty of time to go through, and tomorrow it's me and Augite actually, so that's who it's gonna be, me and Augite. So be here for that. And in the meantime, I've got nothing else. If you're ready to call it a night, I mean, we had a fun time. More games tomorrow. Unfortunately, you won't be here, but you should anyways, even if you're gonna be just in chat.
I'm always around. I'm always around. I'm always available. I know some folks have asked. Actually, IBS was able to get a 6 team in place, which is why you see the standings the way they are. What ended up happening was since they came in a week late, Divine Temple, they got the bye, so they got the 2-0, and so that team took that slot, and they just had to start and accepted the fact that they were going to be starting 0-2. So that's what happened. So now IBS now has a full schedule ahead. There will be no more buys moving forward. Everyone will have their 2 games per week. Yep. And again, shout out to everybody for watching this evening. Again, we thank you for hitting that affiliate status. I do see a lot of points exchanging hands. I know Prince Momo out there already putting in some bets. I see Ember the Flame also putting in some bets out there. I see Soul Keeper even getting in on the action there, getting his bets in. So glad to see the channel with some betting and some gambling. I will probably be more active with spending and losing my points tomorrow, since I tend to pick for the underdog, or I tend to pick for the guys that play the crazy nonsense. Give me a
Yeah.
Lulu jungle with the TF jungle any day. I'm picking that guy.
That's fair. Hey, that's fair. I mean, I would love to see a Machine Gun Lulu again. That's always so much fun to watch. Since Rage Blade's broken now, Machine Gun Lulu might be viable. So, I'm just saying, just getting teams out there, just saying. But I think that'll do it from us, won't it? And unless you got something else to say, Astro.
Well, I will go ahead and call it for the evening. We thank you for coming out tonight. Happy Juneteenth, folks. Happy Juneteenth. Have a good rest of your night.
Day. It sucked. But all right, that'll do it. See you all tomorrow.